my demonstration of learning. First off, I would love you all to open your emails to the document I shared with you. We're going to have a little heartless discussion. Yeah. So are you all open there? Give me a little woot woot when you get there. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So, what's the theme of this piece? Valentina?
The theme of this piece is like wings weighing you down as a person.
Yeah. Okay. And what was the significance of a freak show, Mimi?
A weird person.
Okay. How so?
They do weird things.
Okay. And why do you think there's such disrespect for this old man, Grace?
Because he is old and people think that he's not smart anymore.
Okay. So, you were just put into my shoes earlier this semester, and I will tell you a little bit more about that later on. So, let's begin. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success would have no meaning. Benjamin Franklin. Improvement, achievement, and success are goals we all reach for. In order to reach them, Benjamin Franklin says, it takes more than just living. This experience at the Alger School has been an adventure not only to appreciate, but to also now be able to utilize our knowledge to keep improving as we move on to our next journey. Reflecting on Harkness discussions, receiving Leader of the Day feedback, and learning to kayak have all encouraged me to keep myself remaining open to further growth and keep myself willing to improve my skills in my future endeavors. I've always thought that Harkness is the one to blame for not being an inclusive discussion method. However, I've learned here that one's opinion can change when you feel totally prepared for a Harkness. Through the activity we just did, you can now understand how hard it is to participate when you have no idea what you're talking about. However, since I annotated, collected evidence in the text, and came prepared with questions, I was ready to actively engage in the discussion. In the last Harkness we did, I pushed myself to at least speak once, compared to the Harkness before where I didn't speak at all. I prepared some evidence and questions to pose to the group, so I had topics ready to bring up. I did this by annotating the piece beforehand, marking important passages like, if I think like a man, it's only because every oxalotl thinks like a man and signs his rosy stone semblance. I believe that it has all succeeded in communicating something to him in those first days when I was still he. This was an important statement because it was right after the man's transformation into an axolotl and was a reflection of his thought process of how his two worlds were interconnected. My grade in this Harkness discussion went up 34 points from the last discussion because I came prepared, and the difference showed that in my preparation for that discussion, I had identified a past problem and addressed it. When I return home, I will keep preparing myself for discussions and be a more active participant by using textual evidence and not being afraid to speak up. As Leader of the Day, week, weekend, and expedition, I've received feedback on my strengths as a leader and also my growth areas, such as not being able to speak up. Through my past leadership experiences, I've learned that speaking up and standing up for yourself is an effective way of communication. During the salmon expedition debrief of me and Nathan, Grace said that I could improve on my confidence level skills. After getting this feedback, I've started to more frequently confront problems, such as when I did not have very effective communication with the co-leader, or in my last leadership experience with Nathan, when I told him everything that was on my mind and made sure that both of our opinions were discussed and thought through. I've shown that I can be direct, honest, and observant as a leader. During our Chilean paddling expedition, Meredith said that I could be pretty reliant on a higher power for advice on a decision and agree with what they gave us as an idea. Having more confidence in my decisions will allow me to create my own, well-thought-out choices so I do not have to depend on someone else's. The feedback I receive helps me reflect on my leadership experience and figure out what I need to be aware of to be a more effective leader. Implementing my leadership skills will start happening as soon as I arrive home, and I'll have to rely on myself to stay motivated without the constant push of a busy schedule. The next time I'm put in a designated leadership position, I will make sure to ask for feedback so I can improve. Throughout the semester, my leadership skills have gotten stronger, but also I have become more aware of my strengths and growth areas to improve further in my next leadership experiences. Another area of growth that I will be pursuing is kayaking. I'd only kayaked in marshes and never used a skirt before because I'd never been in a situation where there were rapids. I was scared when I heard that we were learning how to roll and that it would require me having to be flipped upside down in a kayak. I didn't even understand how that could happen. An alumni gave me advice for rolling. Don't be scared and be determined to get it. Literally took me 3 months because I was scared, but once I got it, I loved kayaking. Charlotte Duncan. That made me more determined that it was possible, even from someone who hadn't kayaked before. I'm disappointed that I did not get a role without help this semester, but I realized that this wasn't my only opportunity. I've gained experience and learned more about taking responsible risks and trusting myself. On the salmon expedition, Nathan and I were chosen as the first leaders of the day for the semester. We had no prior influence from other peers and had not many